Major U.S. cities are now on high alert. This includes cities like New York City, Chicago, Miami, even Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to address what's going on, why these cities are now being told to stay inside, be vigilant, and to just be careful. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So is it true that people inside cities like New York, Chicago, and Denver are being told to stay inside? Yes, they're being told to stay inside after dark. But why? And no, has nothing to do with that triple E virus that's going around from mosquitoes, has nothing to do with Mpox, and has nothing to do with COVID. What is it? Well, it's a gang. Look at this. It says El Paso on high alert as dangerous Venezuelan gang described as MS-13 on steroids surges in the United States. It says members of Tren de Aragua have already crossed into the U.S. Now, I talked about this many months ago, and I said this was just getting started. This was just the beginning of something that will get far worse. Well, it has. Just listen to this comment that I received on a video that I did about a month and a half ago. This person commented and said, I traveled to New York in July with a church group, and we saw several people get their phones stolen right from their hands. People would ride by on an electric bike or a motorcycle and grab phones, purses, and shopping bags right out of people's hands. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. But I want to play this clip for you because in this clip, for one, it is very disturbing, but this is what we are seeing. Just look at this.
The NYPD says Tren de Aragua has been making it over the border with the migrant influx and is getting established in New York.
What we do see is they are trying to grow.
The gang has gone from petty crimes like shoplifting and stealing cell phones and jewelry to all-out shootouts in the streets.
So, all-out shootouts. That's what we're seeing. Before, people would get their items stolen right off the street. That's what we are seeing. Again, petty crimes. These gang members of Tren de Aragua, they would go into stores and pretty much do a smash and grab, take whatever they could, and they'd run out. Okay? That's what we were seeing. Now, it's turning violent. Now, these gangs are clashing with other gangs, and it's turning into a massive issue. But listen to this comment. This person says, and I quote, "This isn't only in New York now." And this is a comment from just a couple weeks ago. Person goes on to say, I used to live in Aurora, Colorado. Used to. And I was evicted from my apartment without any reason. Now, I see what looks like to be a gang living in the entire complex. Well, I looked into this. Look at this right here. This is from Fox News. It says, Denver suburb rocked by a huge increase in migrant gang violence. Biden-Harris administration is complicit. Says Venezuela's brutal Tren de Aragua gang has wreaked havoc on Aurora, Colorado. Now, that was just from yesterday. That's when that article was written. Now, we're going to touch on this because this is very important. Goes on to say, residents of a quiet Denver suburb are fed up with sanctuary city and border policies as the town struggles with a spillover of migrant gang violence. Says, there's a huge increase of violence in these areas in Aurora where these newly arrived foreign-born migrants, many of whom are Venezuelan, have started to grow. Now, here's what I think is interesting though, okay? And I want to touch on this. We are seeing people being kicked out of their homes. People are being robbed, okay? Thefts are happening over and over. It's not just taking your cell phone, taking a shopping bag that you had, or maybe a bag of food that you picked up from McDonald's or Taco Bell. Now it's starting to turn violent. And this is why I want to give you this warning. According to experts, they say this will get far worse before it ever gets better. Keep in mind that if we see the current administration continue, these events that are happening are likely going to get worse. So again, I don't know who's going to win the upcoming election. Could it be former President Donald Trump? Yes. Could it be current Vice President Kamala Harris? Of course it could. But again, we just don't know, and we will not know until after November 5th. So, what does this mean moving forward? Well, unfortunately, this means we are going to see this gang continue to grow. We will likely see this gang continue to build, become a little bit more powerful, and eventually they're going to take over certain cities. Now, here's where police say we need to be very cautious. What they are doing is they're going after people that are down on their luck, that are migrants themselves, that are struggling. And right now, when millions of Americans don't have cash in their bank, don't have credit cards that they can fall onto, right? Nothing that they can rely on. And this is where these gang members are going. They're trying to recruit people by giving them a massive amount of money. Say $20,000 to start taking from people, robbing, building that empire. That's what we're hearing. Okay? Now, again, I don't know how far this goes. I don't know if they're in different cities. All I know is what we're being told by Fox News and other media outlets that yes, they are in bigger cities. Like, again, they're in, just like this article saying right here in El Paso. El Paso's on high alert, but El Paso's just the beginning. This is where they go into. And then they travel to Denver and then build off into Aurora. They travel to New York City and then expand from there. Travel to Chicago and then expand from there. Go to Miami and expand from there. This is what we're seeing. So again, I don't know how far this is going to go. I don't know if we will ever see this stop or something get some pushback here. But Tren de Aragua, according to this article, says they are the MS-13 on steroids. That is not good. So, as we get more information on them, as we get more information as to what is going on within the United States, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates. But just understand right now, that is all we know. So, as we get more information, I promise I will bring you that news and updates. So, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.